saja lagi. Sehubungan dengan itu, pihak penganjur ini memohon kerjasama para hadirin agar bersedia bagi memastikan kelancaran sepanjang berlangsungnya program. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum. Boleh dengar? Boleh dengar ke?
Boleh pun.
Boleh pun. Aku tak dengar dia testing dulu.
Boleh.
Hello, good morning. Sorry.
Daun layu di tengah gurun, nampak jalur pohon cemara. Tradisi Melayu turun-temurun, pantun ditutur pembuka bicara. Yang berhormat Puan Nur Syahidah binti Muhammad Syamsuddin, penolong pengarah kanan Jabatan Alam Sekitar Negeri Selangor, yang berusaha Encik Muhammad Tariq Al-Fatatri, pengasas dan pengarah Bluebee Teknologi Sendirian Berhad, yang dikasihi Teknologis Nur Ain Muhammad Zainuddin, penasihat Persatuan Rakan Alam Sekitar UiTM Student Chapter, serta para hadirin yang dikasihi sekalian. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Farah Adibah, selaku pengacara majlis pada hari ini, amat serta tuan-puan ke program webinar A Dialogue on E-Waste. Setinggi-tinggi kesyukuran dipanjatkan ke hadrat ilahi kerana dengan limpah dan kurnianya dapat kita bersama-sama dalam majlis ini dalam suasana yang aman dan harmoni. Lebat kemiri, pohonnya rendah, dahan terikat, tali perkasa, 10 jari kami menadah, mukat yang Maha Esa. Bagi memberkati program kita pada hari ini, marilah kita sama-sama mendadah tangan bagi mengaminkan bacaan doa yang akan dibacakan oleh saudara Muhammad Akil Hakimi bin Azlan. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan.
Islam boleh mengutangi sekitar sekali lagi, dan kepada yang bukan Islam boleh membaca doa mengikut agama masing-masing. Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajmain. Ya Karim ya Wadud, sesungguhnya kami berhimpun pada hari ini bagi menyatakan kesyukuran di atas kurniaan-Mu yang tidak ternilai. Jadikanlah kami hamba-hamba-Mu yang sentiasa bersyukur, sama ada nikmat yang sedikit, lebih-lebih lagi nikmat yang melimpah ruah kepada kami. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Engkau berkatilah dan rahmatilah perjalanan majlis webinar Eco Tech Exchange A Dialogue on E-Waste pada hari ini. Sesungguhnya Engkau Maha mengetahui bahawa kami di sini ingin menimba ilmu yang sangat luas bagi mengembangkan ilmu pengetahuan kami sebagai hamba-Mu yang Engkau redai. Justru berkatilah dan rahmatilah perhimpunan kami ini. Kurniakanlah kepada kami ilmu, sinarilah hati-hati kami dengan cahaya dan hidayah. Semoga dengannya kami mudah menerima dan menghayati serta mengamalkannya. Ya Zajadal wal Ikram, kurniakanlah juga kepada kami kesihatan anggota, kecergasan minda, ketenangan jiwa, kekuatan semangat. Semoga dengannya kami mampu mendepani cabaran, berdaya saing dan mampu mengangkat martabat diri, keluarga, masyarakat dan negara. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Allahu minkum.
Amin, amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Majlis mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada saudara Akil atas bacaan doa itu sebentar tadi. Untuk pengetahuan para hadirin, program webinar A Dialogue on E-Waste pada hari ini merupakan program perkongsian yang dianjurkan oleh Kelab Rakan Alam Sekitar UiTM Student Chapter dengan kerjasama Jabatan Alam Sekitar Negeri Selangor serta Blue Beast Technology Syndrome Berhad bersempena sambutan Hari Bumi 2024 peringkat negeri Selangor. Program ini bertujuan untuk memberikan pendedahan kepada semua pelajar dan juga orang awam berkaitan pengurusan barang elektronik atau lebih dikenali sebagai e-waste. Sebelum tirai sesi penyampaian perkongsian dibuka, ingin saya memperkenalkan penceramah kita pada hari ini terlebih dahulu. Bak kata pepatah, tak kenal maka tak cinta. Penceramah pertama kita pada hari ini ialah Puan Nur Syuhaidah binti Muhammad Syamsuddin. Beliau merupakan penolong pengarah kanan Jabatan Alam Sekitar dan telah memperolehi ijazah sarjana muda kepujian daripada Universiti Putra Malaysia dalam bidang kejuruteraan kimia. Beliau juga telah dianugerahi dengan kelulusan Master of Science dalam bidang kejuruteraan alam sekitar di Universiti Putra Malaysia pada tahun 2004. Untuk makluman semua, sudah lama Puan Syuhaidah berkecimpung dalam Jabatan Alam Sekitar. Puan Syuhaidah pertama kali berkhidmat pada tahun 2006 dalam unit kawalan juru audit bahagian penilaian Pejabat Timbalan Ketua Pengarah Pembangunan Jabatan Alam Sekitar sehinggalah 2015. Bukan itu sahaja, Puan Syuhaidah juga meneruskan khidmat beliau dalam unit input pembangunan Jabatan Alam Sekitar Negeri Selangor bermula dari 2015 sehingga 2017. Selepas itu, selama setahun Puan Syuhaidah berkhidmat dalam unit kebenaran bertulis dan teknologi maklumat di Jabatan Alam Sekitar Negeri Selangor. Malahan kini, Puan Syuhaidah sedang berkhidmat dalam unit pendidikan dan pengawasan bahagian pembangunan Jabatan Alam Sekitar Negeri Selangor bermula dari tahun 2018 sehinggalah sekarang. Memang hebat background speaker kita pada hari ini. Oleh itu, program ini diteruskan lagi dengan perkongsian oleh Puan Nur Syuhaidah binti Muhammad Syamsuddin, penolong pengarah kanan Jabatan Alam Sekitar Negeri Selangor. Dengan segala hormatnya, majlis mempersilakan.
Terima kasih Puan Pengerusi, Puan Pengacara Majlis. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hormati penceramah yang kedua iaitu Encik Muhammad Tariq Al-Fatari dan yang dihormati juga teknologis Puan Nur Ain Muhammad Zainuddin, penasihat kepada Rakan Alam Sekitar UiTM Student Chapter. Untuk presentation saya pada hari ini berkenaan dengan kempen pengurusan e-waste di negeri Selangor ya. Okay. Next. Yang ni saya boleh share slide saya ke? Boleh dengar ke? Saya share slide saya.
Slide.
Ya. Saya share sendirilah senang, nanti takut nak apa tu? Okay, boleh nampak Okey. Okey, ini pengenalan kandungan presentation saya. Berkenaan saya akan mulakan dengan pengenalan kepada buangan terjadual sebab e-waste ni adalah merupakan buangan terjadual. Okey. Seterusnya berkenaan dengan e-waste dan kerangka perundangan dan juga program kesedaran e-waste yang kita laksanakan lah di ERTH Selangor. Okey. Okey, pengenalan kepada buangan terjadual. Okey. Apakah buangan terjadual ya? Berdasarkan Akta Kualiti Alam Sekeliling 1974, merujuk kepada peraturan-peraturan kualiti alam sekeliling buangan terjadual. Buangan terjadual adalah buangan yang dia masuk dalam kategori buangan yang disenarakan dalam jadual pertama. Ya, jadual pertama di dalam peraturan kualiti arus keliling buangan terjadual 2015. Okey. Apakah ciri-ciri buangan terjadual ni? Buangan terjadual ni dia mudah terbakar, menghakis, beracun, reaktif dan juga berjangkit. Dia ada 5 kumpulan iaitu SW1 sehingga SW10. SW2, grup bulan SW2, SW3, SW4 dan seterusnya SW5 lah. Yang ni kita boleh tengok di dalam jadual di dalam peraturan buangan terjadual tu lah. Okey. Apakah akan berlaku sekiranya buangan terjadual ni tak dilupuskan dengan kaedah betul? Apa akibatnya kalau tak dilupuskan dengan betul dan tak diuruskan dengan betul? Okey. Ia akan menyebabkan berlakunya pencemaran kepada alam sekitar, kepada pencemaran air, udara dan tanah. Ini contohnya yang berlaku dahulu, pencemaran di Sungai Kim yang menyebabkan banyak yang terkesan lah ya. Seterusnya, dan juga pencemaran bahan berbahaya ni juga boleh menyebabkan rantaian makanan terjejas akibat pencemaran air, sungai, air tanah dan juga tasik. Di mana kalau bahan berbahaya ni dah terlupus ke dalam sungai apa semua menyebabkan rantaian makanan terjejas seperti ikan mati apa semua, jadi merosakkan alam sekitar lah. Dan seterusnya dia menyebabkan nilai estetik terjejas. Contohnya macam kawasan pelancongan, tiba-tiba ada illegal dumping, pembuangan haram dan masuk dalam tanah. Ia boleh menyebabkan pencemaran ke atas air bawah tanah, kawasan tanah tu, contaminated land, apa semualah. Jadi macam contoh kalau kawasan terdekat dengan kawasan pelancongan. Jadi kalau ada pencemaran tu menyebabkan kawasan tu tak ada lawan nak pergi lah kan. Jadi aktiviti kat situ terjejas. Jadi nilai estetik di kawasan tersebut pun terjejas. Dan juga ia akan menyebabkan kesan kepada kesihatan manusia lah. Jadi kalau misalnya tiba-tiba ada pencemaran bahan berbahaya ni, tiba ada keluar gas beracun apa semua menyebabkan terjejas pada kesihatan pada manusia, terutama kepada kanak-kanak lah yang berisiko tinggi penerima reseptor yang sensitif yang ni. Macam contoh ni berlaku di sekolah di mana pencemaran klorin. Jadi menyebabkan kanak-kanak lah yang lebih terkesan manusia lah. Seterusnya, ia juga menyebabkan bahan berbahaya ni dia bersifat karsinogenik dan akan kekal dalam sekitaran. Contohnya macam kes pernah dengar tak yang Minamata mercury, kes Minamata di mana pencemaran mercury ada dalam laut menyebabkan penduduk di Minamata tu mengalami keracunan mercury dan menyebabkan sehingga kini lah banyak yang berlaku kes-kes genetik lah sebab keracunan daripada kes Minamata ni, mercury. Ini contoh yang berlaku illegal dumping di negeri Selangor. Saya tak ingat tahu bila yang ni kita jumpa dengan masa tu tim penguasaan terjumpa di kawasan tak silap saya di Johan City. Dia orang jumpa di satu kawasan tu ada longgokan buangan terjadual. Jadi ini pada silap saya tahun 2019 ke 20. Tapi ini yang kita jumpa besar lah di negeri Selangor. Ini antara contoh lah illegal dumping bagi buangan terjadual. Sepatutnya buangan terjadual ni dia uruskan dengan betul lah. Di mana dia perlu diletakkan di kawasan yang perseturan dengan baik, di label apa semua, apabila dihasilkan oleh waste generator perlu dihantar kepada waste receiver lah. Ini contoh pensetoran yang baik lah. Kalau misalnya ada penghasilan buangan terjadual daripada premis ke apa, perlu distorkan di tempat yang tertutup dan mempunyai aliran udara, perlu dilabel apa semua lah. Itu sedikit perkenalan berkenaan dengan buangan terjadual. Seterusnya saya akan teruskan berkenaan dengan e-waste. E-waste, apa itu e-waste? e-waste dikategorikan sebagai kod SW110 di bawah peraturan kualiti alam sekeliling buangan terjadual 2005 berdasarkan akta buangan ia merupakan buangan daripada pemasangan elektrikal dan elektronik yang mengandungi komponen seperti akumulator, suis rasa, kaca daripada tiub sinaketed dan kaca teraktif atau kapasitor bionet terpolorin yang lain atau yang dicemari dengan kadmium, rasa, plumbum, nikel, kromium, litium, perak, mangan atau bifenil terpolorin. Kalau nak baca pendarat daripada akta ni memang panjang lah, tapi dari segi layman ni kita tahu e-waste adalah peralatan elektronik dan elektronik yang telah rosak dan tak berfungsi ataupun lama setusang. Jadi senang cerita, e-waste ni peralatan elektronik yang dah rosak, kita tak boleh guna dah. Seterusnya, e-waste ni kita terdapat dua jenis, iaitu daripada yang terhasil daripada proses perindustrian. Contoh macam rejected component, crush printed circuit board, broken electric motor dan defected power supply. Ni contoh yang e-waste daripada proses perindustrian lah. Okey, yang kedua jenis e-waste yang daripada isi rumah. Ni ada 6 jenis item kawalan yang kita kawal lah, iaitu seperti handphone, washing machine, television, aircon, komputer dan juga peti ais. Okey. Kita nak kenal pasti sama ada peralatan elektrik itu e-waste atau bukan e-waste. Okey, kalau e-waste dia defected and cannot be repaired, maksudnya dah rosak dan tak boleh dibaiki semula. Dan kita nak buang lah. Lepas tu yang kita dismantle dan kita jual sebagai spare part je, maksudnya komponen-komponen dia je kita ambil. Lepas tu daripada part-part dia lah yang refurbish activities apa semua. Okay, itu e-waste. Kalau bukan e-waste, ialah barang-barang elektrik yang masih boleh digunakan lagi. Contohnya seperti barang-barang elektrik yang second hand, macam laptop second hand tu, dia masih boleh guna kan. Jadi dia e-waste lagi lah. Dan seterusnya macam barang-barang elektrik tu kita rosak tapi kita masih boleh baiki. Okay, itu maksudnya dia boleh guna lagi. Dan juga satu lagi, dia masih berfungsi tapi kita tukar part-part dia, tukar RAM ke apa ke, hard disk dia ke, dia masih boleh guna. So dia mesti dikategorikan sebagai bukan e-waste lah, maksudnya dia boleh guna lagi. Okey, kenapa kita kata kalau handphone yang dah rosak ni dikategorikan sebagai e-waste? Apa yang ada dalam handphone kita ni? Dalam handphone ni, kalau kita recycle balik, kita nak dah dispose dia, dalam dia ada precious metal macam gold, silver, copper, tungsten dengan tantalum. Jadi ada lagi barang-barang yang berharga dalam handphone kita ni kalau kita recycle. Okey. Tapi kenapa dia dikategorikan bahan berbahaya tu? Sebab dia ada hazardous material kalau tak diuruskan dengan betul. Contohnya dia ada lead, plumbum, mercury, arsenik, cadmium, klorin dan juga bromin. So that's why dia ada bahan yang berbahaya dan dalam masa yang sama dia ada precious metal. Jadi sebab tu kita recover balik untuk dapatkan precious metal ni lah. Ini dalam handphone. Next ni kalau yang dalam komputer kita ataupun dalam laptop. Dalam laptop ni dia ada juga barang-barang yang berbahaya seperti antimony trioxide, cadmium, chromium, cobalt, mercury, selenium, arsenik, lead. Ni ada bahan yang harmful pada kesihatan kita. That's why kita kena dispose properly lah, kena uruskan dengan betul e-waste kita ni. Okey. Kenapa e-waste tu bahaya? Macam saya terangkan tadi, yang dalam kenapa bahan-bahan terjadual tu berbahaya, sebab dia boleh menyebabkan pencemaran tanah yang menyebabkan pencemaran rantai makanan lah. Sebab sekarang pelupusan e-waste ni yang tak dilupuskan dengan betul, diorang buat dismantle macam tu saja, di open kawasan terbuka. Dalam seterusnya dia orang buat pembakaran untuk mendapatkan pressure setter tu, buat pembakaran terbuka automatik. Jadi ada pencemaran udara. Pencemaran udara menyebabkan masalah kesihatan yang kronik. Jadi kalau misalnya dia buat aktiviti peleraian tu kawasan terbuka, lepas tu terbakar, lepas tu kalau hujan lagi, automatik menyebabkan pencemaran air dan juga bawah tanah lah, sumber air yang lain. So jadi that's why kenapa bahayanya e-waste ni. Okey, seterusnya buat masa sekarang senario pengurusan e-waste ya. Senario pengurusan e-waste pada sekarang, kita tengok buat masa sekarang ni banyak barang-barang peralatan elektrik dan elektronik ni dihasilkan dengan banyak sekali lah. Macam generasi sekarang ni kalau tengok handphone yang terkini ada yang design baru, semua baru, semua nak beli yang baru. Okey, yang lama-lama tu dia orang buang. Jadi productionnya tinggi dan juga disebabkan penggunaan yang tinggi dan seterusnya menyebabkan pelupusan tinggi lah. Okay, jadi situasi pengurusan e-waste pada masa sekarang ni banyaknya tak diuruskan dengan sempurna lah. Saya maklum tadi, mostly banyak dibuang di tapak pelupusan barang lusuh. Ada barang lusuh yang ambil barang-barang e-waste ni secara terbuka dan e-waste ni tak disimpan di tempat yang tertutup, disimpan di kawasan yang terdedah kepada cahaya matahari dan hujan. Jadi dia buat kerja-kerja dismantle apa semua tu di kawasan yang terbuka. Dan seterusnya pengurusan ni tidak mesra alam. Maksudnya dia buat peleraian macam tu saja. Kalau boleh tengok gambar tu kan, ni dia lerai macam tu saja tanpa tahu bahayanya e-waste ni. Dan hanya mengambil bahan-bahan yang dari segi yang berharga saja, emas, kuprum, palladium ni dia ambil tu saja. Macam plastik tu tak recycle, dibakar macam tu saja. Jadi tak ada pengurusan yang kaedah yang sempurna lah. So kenapa kita perlu semula e-waste ni sebab dia ada bahan berharga, logam berharga lah, dan juga dia menyebabkan berbahaya kepada kesihatan lah. Boleh menyebabkan kanser, pencemaran. Okay. Dari segi kerangka perundangan, kerangka perundangan buat masa ini, e-waste daripada industri ni, yang dijana daripada industri ni, dikawal di bawah peraturan-peraturan kualiti alam sekeliling buangan terjadual 2005 yang dikategorikan sebagai kod SW 110. Manakala pengurusan dia, dari segi pengurusan, e-waste dijana mesti diuruskan dan dilupuskan secara environmentally sound manner, di premis yang ditetapkan dan dilesenkan oleh JAS. Maksudnya daripada premis kita kategorikan sebagai waste generator lah. Jadi diorang akan hantar kepada premis yang ditetapkan buangan terjadual yang dilesenkan oleh JAS lah, JAS yang keluarkan lesen. Jadi waste generator ni akan hantar kepada premis provider ni yang berlesen lah. Maknanya dia ada pergerakan dan direkodkan di dalam sistem yang dipanggil sistem e-Swiss. Jadi itu pengurusan secara untuk bagi buangan daripada industri lah. Untuk e-waste daripada isi rumah ni, masa sekarang JAS sedang mengubah satu peraturan khusus berkaitan dengan e-waste ni lah. Ini yang dimaklumkan lah oleh JAS pejabat. Dan peraturan yang dirangka menekankan konsep share responsibility di kalangan pemegang taruh. Iaitu pemegang taruh ni stakeholder, iaitu pengilang, pengimport, pengguna penjana buangan, pengumpul dan pengintar semula. Jadi pengilang peralatan elektrik dan elektronik ni mempunyai tanggungjawab untuk memastikan pengurusan e-waste yang sempurna, end of life product dan sumbangan dalam bentuk deposit dikenakan kepada pengilang dan pengimport. So jadi pihak instansi pejabat sedang merangkalah peraturan berkaitan dengan e-waste lah. Okey. Untuk cegah e-waste ni, polisi Jabatan Alam Sekitar ni, kita tak benarkan aktiviti peleraian aktiviti import pun tak dibenarkan, e-waste yang dikumpul hendaklah dihantar ke kemudahan pemulihan kembali yang dilesenkan. So jadi maksudnya peleraian secara haram ni kita tak benarkan lah, macam baru apa semua tu kita tak benarkan, hanya di kawasan yang kita lesenkan sajalah. Lepas tu setiap penghasilan e-waste ni daripada waste generator ni perlu mengisi nota consignment dalam sistem e-Swiss ni dan juga e-waste ni mesti dikumpul, dilabel dan disimpan di kawasan yang tertutup dan tidak terdedah kepada cahaya matahari dan hujan lah. Kita tak nak berlaku pencemaran. That's why e-waste ni konsep penstoran dia pun sama juga dengan terjeruan yang lain lah. Okey, berkenaan dengan tanggungjawab stakeholder tu, tanggungjawab. Okey, pihak pengilang ni daripada kerangka perundangan tu, mekanisme pengurusan e-waste. Okey, pihak pengilang dan pengimport perlu memberi maklumat berkenaan dengan proses peleraian dan komponen bahan berbahaya dalam e-waste tu, dan perlu membayar yuran kita semula terhadap produk yang diletakkan di pasaran tempatan. Tanggungjawab bagi peruncit, kedai baiki, NGO atau syarikat konsesi dan PBT dikira tanggungjawab diorang perlu mengumpul dan menerima e-waste daripada pengguna dan penjana buangan, melupuskan e-waste yang dikumpul dan diterima di pusat pengumpulan yang berdaftar dan kemudahan pemulihan kembali yang dilesenkan, dan mesti berdaftar dengan JAS sekiranya bahu menjadi pusat pengumpulan berdaftar. So maksudnya kalau ada mana-mana peruncit, kedai baiki apa semua tu yang mengumpul e-waste tu, dia kena berdaftar dengan JAS lah. Maksudnya lepas tu dia kena rekodkan penerimaan daripada pengguna, berapa banyak e-waste yang diterima, dan e-waste tu perlu dihantar kepada pusat pengumpulan berdaftar ataupun premis yang dilesenkan oleh JAS. Dan seterusnya pengguna, kita sebagai pengguna dan juga penjana buangan ni perlu melepuskan e-waste ni ke peruncit ataupun pengumpul yang berdaftar atau kemudahan pemulihan kembali yang berlesen sahaja. Maksudnya e-waste yang kita hasil ni sebab dia di rumah atau di industri ni perlu dihantar ke pusat pemulihan berdaftar ataupun kemudahan yang dilesenkan, kontraktor yang berlesen sahaja, tak dihantar ke tempat yang lain. Dan tanggungjawab pusat pengumpulan berdaftar ni perlu dia perlu terima dia mengumpul dan persetujuan e-waste lah. Maksudnya sebelum dihantar ke premis PDT tu, dia kena kumpul dan store dulu, perlu merekod bilangan e-waste yang telah dikumpulkan dan menghantar e-waste ke kemudahan kembali yang dilesenkan lah. Maksudnya pusat pengumpulan ni dia tak berlesen, tapi dia berdaftar sebab dia berdaftar saja sebab dia tak ada buat aktiviti lain. Maksudnya dia tak ada buat macam peleraian, dia tak ada buat smelting apa semua aktiviti proses lah, dia hanya terima sajalah. So jadi dia daftar saja dengan JAS dan kemudiannya dia perlu hantar kepada kemudahan pemulihan kembali yang dilesenkan oleh JAS. Okay. Bagi tanggungjawab PDT yang berlesen ni, dia perlu menguruskan e-waste kita yang ni kita untuk dipitah semula secara environmental sound management lah, dan seterusnya membuat pelaporan mengenai aktiviti pemulihan kembali dan bertanggungjawab dalam pelaksanaan mekanisme pengurusan e-waste lah. So jadi semuanya bertanggungjawab daripada start barang elektronik tu dihasilkan sehingga kita lupuskan dia. Okey, so ini macam yang saya maklum tadilah. Jadi daripada rumah, e-waste yang dihasilkan daripada ni lah, dari pengguna ni perlu dihantar ke pusat pengumpulan berdaftar dan seterusnya perlu direkod dalam nota consignment lah, e-waste, dan seterusnya dihantar kepada pusat pemulihan kembali yang dilesenkan lah. Okey, buat masa sekarang di Selangor kita ada 60 pusat pengumpulan yang berdaftar dengan Jabatan Alam Sekitar. Untuk kemudahan perolehan kembali buangan terjadual ni, kita ada dua jenis, iaitu partial recovery ataupun fully recovery. Kalau partial recovery ni dia hanya buat pelarian saja, dia tak ada buat peleburan lah. Dia lerai saja. Kita ada dalam 19 yang berlesen. Fully recovery ni maksudnya dia daripada start dia terima e-waste tu, dia lerai dan dia buat sembahyang tengah, ada proses lah sehingga dapat barang berharga. So jadi di Selangor kita ada dalam 27 lah. Ya. Okey, untuk program kesedaran e-waste yang kita telah laksanakan, untuk program kesedaran e-waste yang kita telah laksanakan di Jabatan Alam Sekitar Negeri Selangor, okey. Kita ada buat hari pengumpulan e-waste pada setiap satu terakhir setiap bulan. Okay. Dulu Kementerian Alam Sekitar dan Air itu pada tahun 2020 semasa Hari Alam Sekitar Negara Peringkat Kebangsaan telah menetapkan Sabtu terakhir pada setiap bulan sebagai hari pengumpulan e-waste dari isi rumah. Dan inisiatif ini adalah bertujuan untuk meningkatkan kesedaran orang awam terhadap kepentingan pengurusan e-waste secara mesra alam dan lestari. So di samping itu juga KASA telah menetapkan petunjuk prestasi KPI untuk sasaran pengumpulan e-waste pada tahun 2021 sebanyak 800 tan. Jadi semasa peringkat awal tu kita buat promosi, kita buat hari pengumpulan e-waste pada setiap hari Sabtu terakhir setiap bulan. Daripada start tahun 2021 tu kita dah buat sampai sekarang. Kita masih lagi buat, Jabatan Alam Sekitar masih lagi melaksanakan lah program pengumpulan e-waste ni. Jadi kalau tengok gambar tu kita ada buat satu program dekat kawasan komuniti lah. Ni dekat Denai Alam dan satu lagi tak silap saya di State Terengganu. Ni contohlah gambar. Okey. JAS juga ada buat kempen kempen pengumpulan e-waste ni. Kita collaborate sekali dengan pihak berkuasa dengan Majlis Perbandaran, yang ni kita buat dengan MBSE, Majlis Bandaraya Shah Alam. Jadi kita buat program pengumpulan bersama dengan pihak MBSE. Jadi yang ni kita pergi ke pusat kita semula dia di U2 tak silap. Jadi kita buat pengumpulan tu secara drive-thru. Jadi orang awam datang hantar e-waste mereka ke tempat pusat pengumpulan MBSA ni, dan pihak kontraktor yang kita jemput masa tu dia akan beri insentif pada pengguna yang hantar e-waste lah. Ini kita kolaborasi dengan pihak berkuasa tempatan. Sebenarnya kita ada juga berkolaborasi pusat pengajian, institut pengajian tinggi, macam contohnya kita buat dengan IKBN Berletak, dan juga kita selalu juga buat dengan UiTM Rakan Alam Sekitar, UiTM Student Chapter lah. Banyak yang kita laksanakan lah program-program pengumpulan e-waste ni. Macam last year tu banyak tempat kita buat jugalah dengan komuniti. Okay. Kita tak terhad kepada komuniti saja, dengan IPT pun kita ada buat juga. Dan juga kita ada buat dengan pihak sekolah. Kita misalnya ada program sambutan apa-apa di sekolah, boleh jemput juga Jabatan Alam Sekitar, dan juga kita akan uruskan dengan pihak kontraktor lah. Jadi parent yang misalnya pada sambutan apa-apa di sekolah tu boleh jemput Jabatan Alam Sekitar. Kita akan minta kontraktor ni buka booth lah untuk membuat collection lah. Dan juga sekolah biasanya akan buat pertandingan, siapa yang hantar e-waste yang paling berat akan mendapat hadiah lah. Ni contoh yang kita buat di satu ni di sekolah di Johan Setia dan juga di Gombak. Okay, seterusnya ni secara drive-thru yang saya maklum tadi, di mana kita buat program drive-thru ni, pengguna hanya hantar, kita start drive-thru ni masa PKP dulu, sebab orang tak boleh nak close contact kan. Jadi kita buat drive-thru, jadi pengguna hantar e-waste secara drive-thru ni kepada di tempat kita buat program lah. So jadi pihak kontraktor yang UiTM ni dia bagi insentif lah, dia bagi duit untuk setiap e-waste yang dia hantar lah. Okey. Dan juga buat masa sekarang ni kita dengan kerjasama Kerajaan Negeri Selangor telah melaksanakan projek perintis ya, di mana kita buat program pengumpulan e-waste di stesen-stesen minyak yang terpilih. Kita tahu e-waste ni berisiko juga, so jadi kita buat masa sekarang kita buat drive thru lah. Jadi ni kita buat di Kota Damansara 2 baru je bulan lepas. Mendapat sambutan yang menggalakkan lah daripada orang awam. Jadi kita dapat lebih kurang dalam 1 tan lebih lah, nak dekat 2 tan juga. Jadi kita sekarang Kerajaan Negeri Selangor pun telah menggalakkan lah untuk urusan e-waste yang betul lah. So jadi yang ni kita akan buat juga dengan beberapa stesen minyak yang terpilih saja. Yang terpilih, kita pun telah bekerjasama juga dengan macam contoh kita bekerjasama dengan Petronas. Nanti kita akan bekerjasama juga dengan stesen minyak yang lain lah juga. Okey. Bagi setiap aktiviti ni kita akan paparkan juga di dalam Facebook JAS. Jadi kalau misalnya tuan-tuan boleh tengok kalau nak hantar e-waste tu boleh juga tengok di apa-apa kempen di Jabatan Alam Sekitar punya media sosial di Facebook. Kita akan paparkan bila tarikh program, bolehlah pergi ke tempat program yang kita akan laksanakan. Okey. Untuk kempen e-waste ni kita ada mascot. Mascot ni kita panggil dia ERTH. Dia merupakan chip processor. Dia gantung yang kita gunakan adalah warna ungu. Dia merupakan simbolik kepada tong e-waste lah. Tong e-waste tu kita pakai warna ungu. Ni so nama mascot kita nama ERTH. Okey. Jabatan Alam Sekitar juga telah memandukan satu laman web untuk memudahkan orang awam untuk mengetahui dan berkenaan dengan mekanisme pengurusan e-waste di Malaysia jadi kalau nak tahu lebih lanjut berkenaan dengan e-waste ni, boleh pergi ke laman web e-waste.doe.gov.my. Nanti kalau buka di website ni boleh tengoklah. Dia ada maklumat berkenaan dengan pengurusan e-waste di Malaysia lah Yes. Dan juga dalam website ni tuan-puan boleh tengok boleh mendapatkan lokasi pusat-pusat kumpulan e-waste di seluruh negara lah. Macam di Selangor, macam saya maklum tadi ada 60 kan. Jadi nak tengok kalau pusat pengumpulan ni dekat dengan rumah ke apa semua, boleh cek di laman web ni lah. Jadi boleh hantar ke pusat pengumpulan yang berdaftar ni. Okey, kalau itu di website, JAS juga telah mewujudkan aplikasi secara mobile yang boleh di-download di Google Play atau Apple Store. Di My e-waste nama dia My e-waste, aplikasi yang dibangun oleh JAS. Ni bagi memudahkan orang awam untuk mengetahui pusat pengumpulan berdaftar lah. Maksudnya kita senang lah nak cek mana yang dekat dengan rumah kita apa semua, jadi senang nak hantar. Sebab kalau macam kat Selangor tadi, macam saya maklum tadi, kontraktor yang berlesen ni tak banyak, ada dalam 27 saja. Jadi kita tak nak lah, sebab e-waste ni kita nak lupuskan. Kalau nak tunggu yang program-program pengumpulan e-waste daripada JAS ni takut lambat ke apa, boleh terus direct ke pusat pengumpulan yang berdaftar lah. Itu lagi senang lah. Okay, ini dalam ini yang dalam aplikasi My e-waste ni lah, yang ada dalam, kita boleh download di handphone kita lah ya. Okey, itu saja daripada saya. Saya serahkan kepada pengacara lah. Itu saja daripada saya lah. Mungkin ada sesi soal jawab ke lepas ni ke atau macam mana?
Ada waktu akhir nanti.
Okey.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada Puan Nur Syahidah binti Muhammad Syamsuddin atas perkongsian yang amat menarik sebentar tadi. Para hadirin dan hadirat yang dikasihi, kini program kita diteruskan lagi dengan perkongsian yang seterusnya. Sebelum saya serahkan majlis kepada tetamu jemputan kita pada hari ini, izinkan saya memperkenalkan penceramah yang kedua. Diberi nama Muhammad Tariq Al-Fatari adalah penceramah kedua kita pada hari ini. Beliau merupakan pengasas dan pengarah bagi e-waste recycling True Heroes, juga dikenali sebagai Blue Bee Teknologi Sendirian Berhad. Beliau juga dikenali sebagai salah seorang tokoh paling berpengaruh di Asia dan pernah menerima anugerah pengantarabangsa Presiden Finland. Encik Tariq merupakan usahawan dan serantau dari Finland, Egypt yang kini menjalankan ERTH. ERTH merupakan sebuah inovasi sosial yang telah memenangi anugerah khusus dalam pengumpulan dan mengitar semula sesi elektronik sama ada daripada komuniti awam atau industri. Blue Bee Teknologi Sendirian Berhad merupakan syarikat pengumpul terbesar sisa elektronik di Malaysia yang mencecah sehingga 1,500 tan. Itu tanpa melengahkan masa, majlis menjemput Encik Muhammad Tariq Al-Fatari, pengasas dan pengarah Blue Bee Teknologi Sendirian Berhad untuk berkongsi pendapat beliau pada hari ini. Dengan segala hormatnya, majlis mempersilakan.
Hello.
Saya ulang lagi sekali. Kini program kita diteruskan lagi dengan perkongsian yang seterusnya. Sebelum saya serahkan majlis kepada tetamu jemputan kita pada hari ini, izinkan saya memperkenalkan penceramah yang kedua. Diberi nama Muhammad Tariq Al-Fatari adalah penceramah kedua kita pada hari ini. Beliau merupakan pengasas dan pengarah bagi e-waste recycling True Heroes, juga dikenali sebagai Blue Bee Teknologi Sendirian Berhad. Beliau juga dikenali sebagai salah seorang tokoh paling berpengaruh di Asia dan pernah menerima anugerah pengantarabangsa Presiden Finland. Encik Tariq merupakan usahawan dan serantau dari Finland, Egypt yang kini menjalankan ERTH. ERTH merupakan sebuah inovasi sosial yang telah memenangi anugerah khusus dalam pengumpulan dan mengitar semula sesi elektronik sama ada daripada komuniti awam atau industri. Bluebeam Technology Sdn Bhd merupakan syarikat pengumpul terbesar sisa elektronik di Malaysia yang mencecah sehingga 1,500. Oleh itu, tanpa melengahkan masa lagi, Majlis menjemput Encik Muhammad Tariq Fatadri, pengasas dan pengarah Bluebeam Technology Sdn Bhd untuk berkongsi pendapat beliau pada hari ini. Dengan segala hormatnya, Majlis mempersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and salam Ramadan to everyone. Let me just share my screen. Okay, I hope this is visible. Okay, great. So thank you for inviting me for this. I'm the founder of ERTH, Electronic Recycling Through Heroes. We are a company backed by Katana Nasional, Dana Impact. The problem that we are trying to solve is that every year there is more and more electronics coming into the market. It's growing by around 16% every year. But the reality is, if you check the official data from the Jabatan Alam Sekitar, the recycling rate of e-waste in Malaysia is roughly around 30%. So that's why 70% is actually not properly recycled, because if it was properly recycled, it would actually show on the data of the Jabatan Alam Sekitar. So this 70%, where does it go? It either goes to the landfill because it's already mixed with other waste, so it is contaminated and it goes to the landfill, or it is handled by illegal processing, which means that they don't have the right equipment to process it in a proper way, which is not dangerous to the health of the staff as well as to the environment. And then, or the third option is that some of it is exported to other countries. So ERTH has created a digital platform when we realized that the problem actually is mainly about the accessibility and the logistics of the e-waste industry. So in the past, when we came here in 2018, there was already 60 processors who are licensed to do it properly, but they were not getting enough stock. They were not getting enough material. And if you go and ask them why, they will say that because all of this material is like everywhere. It's divided around, all the homes and all the offices, and it's in small quantities. So if they have like maybe five vehicles, 5 drivers, but they have 1,000 places to go, it's impossible to cover all of that. So logistics was one of the very big bottlenecks for this industry. So what we thought about is that, okay, what if we get normal people using their normal car to sign up like Grab, and then just system will check if there is nearby order required pickup, and then the driver can go and pick it up, and then after he brings it to us, he will get payment for the item as well as for his service. So far we have managed to work with more than 1,000 of those freelancers. So they collect from nearby to their address, and then once their car is full, they will bring it to our warehouse where it will be graded according to its condition. So grade A is a reusable item, grade B is a repairable item, and then grade C is the recyclable item, which need to be crushed down for the raw materials. So by using the Uberized method, the freelancers, we managed to address the problem of many addresses, many locations at an affordable cost, because we already have many drivers. So each one of them can go for a few orders per day, and it's already a much bigger feat than the drivers that are at the recycling facility. So this is some examples of our grade A material, for example. So if you can see here, there is this MacBook Pro Retina 2015 SSD. That device it's actually market price is 3,000 to 4,000, but we actually sell it for 2,000. So basically, we are trying to provide affordable tech. Since this tech is discarded by someone, i.e., we acquired it for an affordable price, then we also pass on this saving to the end consumer, because some of them are unable to purchase the new one from the Apple Store. So we basically give them a slightly older model, but it's perfectly working, and they can continue their education or work from home or whatever they want. And then for the grade B material, so for example, when we get devices from the bank have a strict regulation about the data inside the devices. So they will actually dismantle the hard drive and they will shred it. So basically, once they do that, when they give us the device, it's perfectly working, but it's missing the hard drive. So I cannot put it on carousel to sell to the end consumer because it's not usable yet. So in that case, I will give it to the refurbished companies. They will harvest the spare parts from the device, and then they will use it to together other devices that can then be sold in their channels. And then, of course, the grade C, this one is quite simple. It's basically just a big pile of stuff that can't be repaired, can't be reused. So it just goes to the licensed processor, they crush it down, extract raw materials, which can be then used to make new products. But also, more importantly, they do it in a safe way. So it's safe for their staff, it's safe for the environment, and it's also regulated. So we are giving the data every 3 months of what we are collecting, how much we're collecting, and from where, and processed it to the Jabatan Alam Sekitar. So I'm glad to say that in the last 5 years, from the recycling rate used to be in 2018 25%, and now we are at 30%. So it's increased 1% per year. Of course, this is not enough, because to reach, for example, 50%, we need to wait another 20 years, and that's very slow. So we need to accelerate. That's why we do these awareness talks, because once everybody understands that this is one of the most serious issues, actually, because if you go and analyze, there was a French scientist who went and analyzed the soil sample around a landfill, and she noticed that there was elevated levels of toxic heavy metals. So basically, if we put this stuff in the landfill, the rain will come, bind with the toxic molecules inside the devices, then it will seep down into the soil, into the groundwater, and then it will contaminate, our food and animals and so on. Even though the electronic is only 3% of all of our waste, but in reality, it's responsible for 70% of the toxic heavy metal in our environment. So that's why it's a very serious issue. And once everyone understands how serious it is, but of course, the good news is that the e-waste has enough value inside that allow us to pay the driver to go and collect it, allows us to extract revenue from the raw materials so that we can keep the company running without making losses. So it is very solvable, but at the same time, it's also a matter of awareness and free will. So everybody needs to, if they decide that, okay, everybody needs to do the right thing, we can automatically double the recycling rate from 30% to 60%. And 60% is actually very high, because our neighbors in Southeast Asia, the highest of them, I think, reached 45%. So already just doubling once our recycling rate in Malaysia, it will already make us number one e-waste recycling nation in Southeast Asia. So this is not sort of a marketing presentation, but I just want to tell you some stories about why some of the biggest companies in the world are using our service. Actually, they are using our service because if they use their existing contractors who are used to collecting these big quantities of e-waste and so on, then let's say that the small IT department at, for example, Hong Leong Bank has only 20 devices to dispose. In the past, they used to have to ship these 20 devices back to HQ, and then the HQ will receive the obsolete devices from many branches, have the big quantity, and then call the contractor. So this was very, very troublesome, because it's a lot of logistics, a lot of administrative. You have to store the stuff at the HQ and so on. But in our case, because we have many drivers, so Hong Leong has 400 branch. If all of those branches decide, I want to dispose today, for us is no problem. We have 400 drivers who can each go to different location, and they can basically collect these items at the branch level. So this model even applicable to the companies, not just to the household. Originally, we were just trying to solve the problem for household, but suddenly now the companies are using the same service as well. So this is, for example, one collection, what we did recently from the United Nations here in Cyberjaya. So I just wanted to show you what kind of things we are collecting. So, for example, these laptops, they're actually not very old, but these laptops, basically, when the United Nations acquired them in the first place, they will have actually like a warranty expiry date. So they put this date inside their Excel sheet, and then they program the sheet so that every period, like every quarter, every month, every year, they will check this sheet, and then all the lines which passed their warranty expiry date, they will turn red. So the text will become red. So the IT manager easily can check every now and then how many of their devices are ready for disposal. Because once they are out of warranty, they basically don't want to use them anymore, because this can disrupt the operation of the person using the laptop. Why? Because if the laptop is under warranty, okay, it's simple. You just call Dell, you call HP, they will either fix it or they will replace it immediately. But let's say that it's out of warranty. So now you have a different process, because if you call them, they will say, sorry, we cannot help you. So what you have to do is that you have to start calling all of these repair companies. Hi, can you repair this model? Do you have the spare parts? Then maybe the refurbished company don't have the spare part on hand, so they have to order it, and they have to wait a couple of weeks and so on. So this is not feasible for the big company. The big company, big organization, they want everything to be running smoothly. So in that case, they will just say, okay, once it's out of the warranty date, I will just dispose it, and then they will call a company like ERTH to come and collect it and process it properly. So this is the example of 1 month of collection in the KL Klang Valley area. So you can basically see that a lot of addresses. So here in this case, more than 1,444 addresses are recycling. So it's distributed, and definitely if I was have 5 drivers or something, definitely cannot handle this. But I can only handle this because I have so many drivers who are freelance using their own vehicle and so on. So we are able to perform so many orders. So I guess Maxis, Maxis is one of the partners for your event today, and they are also the ones who invited me to give this talk. So maybe I'll say a few words about the work that we have done with Maxis. So Maxis, we have a long relationship with them. I think it started in 2022. First, we used their help to build our driver system. So right now, each driver have their own app, and then the system will match based on location. And we also have visibility. We can see pictures of every order, and everything is working very well. And then we tested the system throughout 2022, and it worked perfectly. So then we were happy to go into phase 2 in our partnership with Maxis. So in phase 2, the partnership was related to recycling from Maxis staff. So Maxis has more than 3,000 staff, and then they wanted to see, okay, what if we create promo code for our staff? They can book the free pickup from their home, or they can bring the stuff to the booth in the office, and then at the end of the year, which is 2023, we are going to calculate the total impact. How much tons have we collected? How many items have we collected? So we basically did this campaign throughout last year. And at the end of the year, we diverted more than 20 tons of e-waste, actually, both from the booth as well as from the home collections. And then we also, together with Maxis, won an international award for this project. So when this happened, we were both very happy, and we decided to push the partnership into a third phase, which is in this slide. So this is now the third phase, which is not about the drivers, not about the staff, but now it's about the general public. So now anybody, anywhere can come to the Maxis website and book a free pickup for their electronics. And this campaign is running very, very well. In fact, here in Ramadan, we now have the Ramadan campaign. It's basically grow 500% from last year, the amount of orders that we are receiving through the campaign. So it's very, very successful, and we are thankful for the work and effort that the Maxis team is putting in, and thanks for inviting me for this talk as well. I hope it's helpful for you guys. I'm trying to get through the slides so that we can engage more in the Q&A, because the Q&A is usually more interesting than the monologue. So in December, we launched our northern region. You see that our warehouse, for example, in the northern region is 10 times bigger than our HQ. So this is about the future, because we expect that there is so much e-waste, everywhere. So we want to be ready to collect big amounts and so on. So that is our warehouse. This is, of course, the Penang Chief Minister. And by the way, the lady there on my right, in the picture is actually the first hero that signed up for our system in Penang. So since then, she has already collected like more than 3,000 kg of e-waste. So she is a mom of 3, and she said, I have free time, I have a car, let me sign up, let me try. And then she liked it, and now she's doing a lot on a daily basis. She's doing many orders, and she's earning good income from that as well. So everybody is happy. In fact, when I met her that day, she also asked me for a T-shirt with the Earth logo, because she also want to, show that she's Earth hero while she's working. So one more partnership that was launched in January. It was a partnership that converted all the 1,000 post offices around Malaysia into drop-off points for e-waste. So nowadays, if you book the free pickup from our website or from the Maxis website, and then we see that your address is out of coverage for our heroes, in that case, we will contact you and give you shipping label, free postage paid shipping label. So you don't have to pay anything. You just have to put your stuff in a box, stick this label on the box, and then go and hand it to the Malaysia staff at any post office. And if you do that, the box will reach our HQ, and then we will open the box, calculate your cash reward, and then we will send you the cash reward by Do It Now. So this is very convenient. It doesn't. You don't. Some people, even they are in area that have the heroes, they still request the post option, because if you arrange with the hero, you have to synchronize your time. You have to make sure that you are there while the hero comes, so to hand them the stuff and get the payment and so on. But if you can drop at the post office anytime, so the people who are busy and their schedule is very busy, they will prefer the post in option, because usually post office is very close, so they will just take the label, put in a box, stick it, and then anytime convenient to them, maybe while they're grocery shopping or something like that, they can just drop the box. So this is a very, very good option as well, and it's really contributing to the amount of e-waste that we are pulling in 2024. So we have some government buildings which have adopted our bin for e-waste recycling. So, for example, you see the Minister of Environment, you see at the bottom there the Bank Negara, then you have also the Companies Commission of Malaysia, SSM. So this is the old version of the box. It is convenient, yes, but it is not rewarding, because that's just a box and you just put the stuff there and we empty the box whenever it's full, but there is no person there to pay you the cash reward. We also don't know when we go and collect the item, this one is from who, and so on. So it's impossible to actually do the cash reward payment. And that's why just last week, we launched this for the first time. So we partnered with Telekom Malaysia and Clean, the company that makes these devices. So this machine originally was made for the plastic bottles and cans, but we actually transformed it into e-waste instead. So nowadays, if you go to My Town Shopping Mall in KL, you can choose, of course, the item has to fit inside. So it's limited to items that are as big as the window of the box, so you cannot put your microwave there. But you can basically choose to go to this machine, and then depending on what is your item, there will be QR code printed in the machine. You stick it on your device, and then you put it inside the window. The device will detect, is it really what you said it is? So if you choose phone, it will check if it's really a phone. But if you say it's a phone and it's a bottle, it's not going to accept it. And then if it's really a phone, or as you said, then it will drop inside the box. Every while, we will go and open the box and take everything inside, check it. Okay, this is really a phone, etc. It has a cash reward. So through the QR code printed on the device, we are able to also send you the money by Do It Now. So again, we are trying to make the same experience, whether you drop it at the post office or drop it in the mall, or you our hero come and collect it from you. We want to give you the same experience, meaning that you recycle and you get your reward. So this is already up and running, and you can go and check it out at the My Town shopping mall in KL. These are also some campaigns that we do with the companies. So at the bottom there's a Maxis campaign. At the top right is Astellas, it's a pharmaceutical company. Then of course the electricity company EMB. So this is stuff that we do all the time, and we're happy to collaborate also with your university if some of the student clubs want to organize a collection campaign for everybody. Sometimes they will get the reward individually, or sometimes they will pool together the reward, and then they will throw a party or do something or charity also possible. So this is basically the stuff that we do on a regular basis. This is one example of a campaign we did with Shell gas station. So you drive into the gas station, you drop your electronic, they will calculate the value, and based on the value, you will get free fuel. And this was very, very successful, and it's also everyone is happy because the person gets free fuel, the gas station sells more fuel, and then we also get the e-waste. So it just helps the environment, and it's helpful for everyone at the same time. One more example. So sometimes we get a call from some school. So in this case, it's a school in Taman Esiang Kepong. They said our computer labs are rosak. We cannot really use the devices, and we put the request for the Ministry of Education a while ago, and it's taking some time and so on. So it's really affecting our students' learning journey. So the next morning, our branch manager was at the school delivering 24 devices free of charge, and we managed to bring the both computer lab up and running again within 24 hours, and it was fully donated. So this is the importance of reutilizing all the obsolete tech. So just imagine that because a company just can't afford the new devices and they just use the device for 3 years, once the device is in its 4th year, that doesn't mean that the device isn't usable anymore. Actually, it can still be used for a few more years. So in that case, we can use it for this kind of case. Is someone saying anything? Okay, I thought so. I heard something. Anyway, this is my final slide. So basically, this is just the total impact. So we have collected 1.5 million kgs of e-waste so far, serving 10,000 customers. Our heroes earn 50% more than driving for Grab. So if they do this full time, they will actually earn M40 income. And we are the top authorized collection center by Jabatan Alam Sekitar, and we are officially nominated for the ERTH prize. This is my final slide. Let me just stop the sharing so I can see you back, and then happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada Encik Muhammad Tariq Al-Fatatri atas perkongsian yang amat bermakna sebentar tadi. Para hadirin dan hadirat sekalian, majlis diteruskan lagi dengan sesi kedua, iaitu Q&A daripada para hadirin kepada Puan Nur Syahidah dan juga Encik Muhammad Tariq Al-Fatatri. Dipersilakan kepada sesiapa yang berminat untuk bertanyakan soalan, sila kongsikan di ruangan komen. Majlis mempersilakan.
Let me see. Oh, wow. They have a lot of participants here. 207. That's a lot. Okay, we're starting to get some questions here. I'm sorry, moderator, please translate to me because I actually don't understand the question since it's not in English.
Soalan pertama daripada Nafisal Ilmi Muhammad Khairi, berkenaan dengan e-waste, adakah kabel atau earphone yang rosak termasuk dalam golongan tersebut? Which is it the cable and the earphone include in the e-waste?
Yes, correct. Anything that has electricity running through it, so it has a wire or it runs on battery, is all actually considered e-waste.
Soalan kedua daripada Nur Hidayah. Is the collection for e-waste only focused on main cities? I found the collection centers are not easy to access when you are not from the cities.
That's exactly why we did the partnership with Post Malaysia. So in the Post Malaysia, you can send unlimited amount of e-waste to us as long as each package not exceed 30 kg. So you can, if you have 100 kg, you can just split into 3 package and then ship to us. So I think there is everywhere is a post office. So now this problem is solved. Even at the remote areas, you can also participate in recycling.
For the third question from Kenny Lu, there will be a lot of e-waste from EV car batteries and solar panels few years down the road. Is there any plan from DOE to handle this situation?
Yes, it's an excellent question. Actually, our HQ in Cyberjaya is 500 meters from Tesla. So we are aware that, these cars already came to the market, and then after 8 to 10 years, all of those batteries are going to become e-waste. And I hear a lot of talk about the battery recycling facilities and also the solar panels. Unfortunately, these facilities are not up and running yet. But there is a lot of talk and a lot of interest about it. So I agree. It is an issue. Even though those both things are actually recyclable, but so far no one has invested in the facility in Malaysia yet. But I'm sure that in 5 to 10 years there will be a facility for this material in Malaysia. Inshallah. Okay, we're getting more questions here. Okay. Oh, nice. So let's take the next one. What's the exact step to actually book or pick up from your app from industrial site? So in this case, since this event is also by Maxis, so maybe you can just go to the Maxis website. I can write I'll write the address here. So maxis.com.my. I think it's /e-waste. Let me just verify that. There is a longer address, but I think that this works as well. All right. Anyway, so I'll just put the long one. So basically, you just go to this address, you fill in the form, and you submit, and then that will automatically go inside our system. Then it will be matched to the nearest driver. If there is no driver nearby, we will contact you and give you the Post Malaysia label. And then you just either wait for the driver to come and collect, or you take the package to the Post Malaysia. That's it, very simple. And then after you hand over your item, you just wait and the money will come into your account. Okay. So this one is done. This one is done. Okay. So there is a plan for EV car manufacturers to build the EV. I'm not sure about the manufacturing. I think I was talking about the recycling. So I do know that some processors are thinking about the recycling part, but I don't know about the manufacturing actually. Is it going to be done here or elsewhere?
There's a question from Ashikin. How about lamps? Is it considered as SW110?
LAM is not SW110. It's SW109.
So is it possible for students to have trip to Earth with Earth to learn more about e-waste recycling?
Yes, you are all welcome. We can organize a tour of our HQ in Sarapajaya. So please come and visit us either personally to recycle your item or with a group to see the place. You are welcome. We are getting a lot of tours all the time.
Question from technologist Dr. Jaharatudini. Assalamualaikum, Encik Tariq. My company is currently joined the sustainability program organized in OCBC SCORE. We are also an established ISO 14001-2015, which is the environmental management system. We have 3 R and e-waste collections stored and recorded in our HQ Ampang and pre-case factories in Senai Johor and Senawang Seremban. How can we get your people to help us maintaining this e-waste collection? We also need all the relevant
Sorry, finish the question first.
Okay, we also need all the relevant license or permit certificates.
Yes, sure. Just reach out to us. What we need is the 3 locations, the address, plus the asset list or at least photo of the items, so that we can organize the logistics, the manpower and the lorry and so on. And then depending on the volume, if it's huge, then we might call our SW110 processor to come and collect it from you directly. But if it's a small quantity, then we will organize the logistic to collect it back to HQ, and then the processor will take it from us. So just reach out to us, earth.app. I will put it here on the chat. Or also I will put my own WhatsApp as well, so you can contact me directly. Put it on the chat here. Right now, our coverage is in the entire Peninsular Malaysia. So from Johor to all the way up to Perlis, also the East Coast can. So we have Northern region, Southern region, Central region. East Coast, we don't have yet someone on the ground, but we will send the team from here if necessary.
Okay, thank you. So there's another question, how to do collection from the island? For example, Sempurna Island from Sabah.
Okay, so East Malaysia is a bit complicated for us because some of the e-waste has the embedded lithium battery, and this type of battery is not allowed for the air shipping. So if we send you the shipping label, for example, you take it to the Post Malaysia, then they try to send it, on the plane. Then when they X-ray the packages, they will see the embedded lithium, and they will reject the packages and return them back to the office, to the post office. So this is not feasible for us at the moment from the East Malaysia side. But basically, from the peninsular side, it's no problem because they are using land transportation to move the packages. So we are still thinking of what is the solution for East Malaysia. And I think by the end of this year, we will take some steps to have someone there on the ground to handle this. But for the time being, we are just serving the peninsular side. There is on the Jabatan Alam Sekitar website some authorized collector on that side, so maybe you can check that website. I'll put the URL here as well. So Earth is not active, but others are active, so maybe you can use their.
On Sempurna Island, maybe you can use from collect from the Sabah.
e-waste.doe.gov. MY. So if you go to this website, you can go to the list of collectors. It will open a map. Then you zoom in on your area and see who is the nearest, and there's contact information and everything there. By the way, when we signed as back in 2021, there was only 5, and now there's 122. So the number of collector is like rapidly growing. I'm not sure if it's still the case, but definitely from 5 to 122 is a big jump. So I think you can find someone in your area that can help you with that. Okay, I see here a question about for the e-waste from industry, should we declare in e-Swiss system first before collect? Right? Okay, so this is a question we get a lot. So according to the Jabatan Alam Sekitar guidelines, you need to know what is the material that you are disposing, because if you are disposing like office equipment, like a laptop, desktop, monitor, this kind of stuff, actually according to the regulation, this is still even though it's come from the company, it's still under household e-waste, and that can be disposed to authorized collection center. But if it's industrial e-waste, meaning it's component or telecom tower or something like that, that one cannot be disposed to authorized collector like us. That one need to be disposed properly to SW110 license holder, and they need to plug the data into the eSwiss system directly. We don't have access to eSwiss system because we are just collector. We mainly collect from the public. Of course, when we give the item to our SW110 processor, they will declare themselves that they got the stuff from us. But if you need the declaration to carry your company name or something like that for audit purposes, then in that case, we will just call our SW110 recovery facility, and we will connect you, and then they will collect directly from you, and they will declare the eSwiss for you.
Okay, thank you. So this question is for Puan Johaida. Is LED tubes SW110 or SW109? Puan Johaida tak buka mic.
Sorry. Okay, untuk yang LED lamp ni, kita kena tengok dalam dia kandungan dia apa. Kalau dia raksa atau mercury tu, dia 109 lah. Kalau tak, dia kod yang lain lah. Tapi dia bukan e-waste lah untuk lampu ni.
Okay, terima kasih. Soalan untuk Puan Syuhaida juga. From regulation, the wording of glass from cathode ray tubes is referred to what item?
Mana panjang soalan lagi. Mana Which one lah? Okay, glass from cathode ray tube. Regulation, the
Yeah, it contains mercury. It contains mercury. This is the the old TV, the box TV. Inside it there is this glass bubble.
Yeah.
And exactly, and it has mercury inside. That's why it has to be regulated.
Yeah, this is e-waste lah.
Yeah. So I see one question here. Actually, maybe this is more for the Jabatan Alam Sekitar. So if industries want to dispose a PC and like household related item, the 6 items which are under the household scheme, do they need to fill in eSwiss, or they can just conveniently call the authorized collector and dispose with us?
Okay, from industry is directly is a waste generator, so they should declare in eSwiss system first. Mostly industry they have eSwiss system if they generate schedule waste. If they not generate schedule waste ni, they just only have the e-waste only. Maybe they can call for the directly to the authorized license.
So actually, so Anusha Devi, the answer is again depending on what are you disposing. If your item belong to the 6th category of the household e-waste, you can dispose it to the authorized collector. But if it's another type, then you need to declare e-waste and dispose to SW110 directly.
Suppose industry must declare in eSwiss system lah.
All right. The next one, are there strategies that business can adopt to minimize electronic waste generation throughout the product life cycle from design to end of life disposal? It's an excellent question. Recently, I gave a talk at Microsoft Malaysia, and I learned that they actually have like 3 life cycles for the device. So first, they will use it. Let's say, for example, they will use it for like a high intensive like computing at the data center, and then once it's decommissioned, they will put it in some kind of a circular economy lab or something like that. So they will make it available for other departments. Maybe they're doing some R&D, which is not so intensive, and it's okay to use a bit older device. So they will put it accessible to other departments who don't need such a powerful devices, and then that other department can use it for a while, and then in the end they will basically allow their staff to take it home and use it at home. So now there is 3 layers of usage for the same device, and then of course I assume that after the device take it home and they use it, then after that they will maybe give it to Earth, so Earth will check it. If it's still usable, then maybe it will get a 4th life. Some B40 member of the community or something will buy it, or we will donate it or something. So that so this is the ways, is to just think from the beginning that this is something that needs to extend the life as much as possible. And now the regulation from the European Union is coming that will require the manufacturers to provide software support and spare parts for any device up to 10 years. So nowadays, our phone we use for like 2 years, then we change. Then maybe a second owner, another 2 years, and then most of the time, that's it. Because now it can't receive software updates anymore. It cannot find the spare parts anymore. So it's a very painful process to use it. But if the regulation force the manufacturer to provide the support and the spare part for 10 years, then I think you can have a 4 or 5 owners of the same device. So I think that this is going to be very helpful for our resource usage moving forward.
Okey, saya dah nampak soalan. Okey, bagaimana saya nak kontak Jabatan Alam Sekitar untuk collect e-waste dari rumah saya. Okey, Jabatan Alam Sekitar ni kita tak buat collection. So jadi boleh kontak dengan pusat pengumpulan contoh macam ERTH ni, ataupun dengan kontraktor yang berlesen lah. Kita just boleh bantu saja untuk kontak lah. Kalau kita untuk Jabatan Alam Sekitar ni, kalau kita ada buat program, kalau kita ada buat program, boleh kontak Jabatan Alam Sekitar. Kita boleh buat program kerjasama, program pengumpulan e-waste, dan kita akan jemput kontraktor yang berlesen ataupun pusat pengumpulan ni lah untuk buat collection. Dan from Miss Anu Shadevi, so which means industry that want to dispose e-waste like PC, aircon, don't need to fill the e-waste. Kalau from industry, they have to fill the e-waste. From industry have to fill. Okay.
Okay, so there's a question from Rakan Sekitar UiTM student chapter. So Rakan Sekitar will help an event about e-waste in Pulau Redang, Terengganu. Is it possible for us to collaborate together with ERTH?
We actually discussed already with Maxis that as they are doing, like student events across the country, we wanted to participate, and we wanted to maybe use the mail-in option or something like that. Because if we go there and do a booth, maybe we will be there for 1 day, but we want to do something permanent. We want to allow people everywhere to recycle, like throughout the whole year or next year and so on. So I think we will come up with some kind of a system with Maxis for the post-in option. So some people could collect at the event, and then after the event there could be the post-in option. Both of those together, I think, will create the maximum impact.
Thank you. So there's another question from Rakan Sekitar UiTM student chapter. So is that possible to install collection box in UiTM?
Okay. So I showed in my slide that we have many boxes everywhere, but unfortunately, I have to say that the box is actually one of the worst ways to collect the e-waste. Why? Because let's say you put it in a place where have 200 staff or 200 students. Then let's say all of the students are doing the right thing. They are putting their e-waste there and recycling and everything. And then one person do the wrong thing, i.e. they will put, for example, like half a can of beverage inside the box. It will contaminate the whole box. And then we can, even if we collect it, we try to give it to the processor because now it's sticky and now there's a lot of ants and stuff like that. Also, the processor don't want to take it. So the box will open the risk of contamination, also the risk of theft. So if you go and put there your phone or your laptop, with your private data, and then let's say by the time we come and empty the box, some of the items are missing, and now we don't know where they are, how to get them back, and so on. So this is not the best way, actually. The best way is manage booth. So you have people on site that are performing the transaction. They're checking the item, calculating the value, making the payment, and then they will go and put it under lock and key until we come and collect. This is the best way, number one. Or number two is to request a free pickup from your address. Then our driver will come and take it from your hand, pay to you, and then he'll bring it to us directly. Yes, we can have a box, but it's really not a good way because we collect a lot of trash, unfortunately.
How about the machine that you have to scan the QR code?
Yeah, this is definitely going to be rolled out, but because the machine is quite costly, it costs 5 figures. So we never roll the machine at our expense. We always wait for a corporate sponsor. So in the case of the we deployed at my town, the corporate sponsor was Telecom Malaysia. So Telecom Malaysia paid for the machine, and we provide the service to empty the machine and make the machine. So everyone have their role. So we are happy to put one at your university as well, but maybe you can help us to find the corporate sponsor who is ready to pay for the machine, and we will make it happen. We will empty the machine, pay the rewards, and also will make the machine, but we need this third party to actually fund the machine, sponsor the machine.
Thank you, Mr. Kotari. There's another question. How can consumers make more informed purchasing decision to prioritize sustainable electronic waste management practice?
Very, very, very good question. So this is my mobile. It's actually, even though I can go and buy iPhone 15, I didn't. When I wanted to change my phone 2 months ago, I purchased a refurbished iPhone 12 Pro, and it's working very perfectly. It's good for the environment, good for my budget. Like now I can even probably buy 2 phones, one for me and one for my wife, for the price of the one new iPhone 15. So most of the time, because nowadays, these consumer electronics have become so good that already the one which is like 2 or 3 years old is almost as good as the new one. Maybe they will just change the color, change the camera slightly better here and there, but mostly the software is exactly the same. So this is my suggestion, is that if it's not necessary for you to purchase the very latest, why don't you consider a refurbished one? So there is already many companies providing refurbished tech. By the way, they even have a refurbished up to the new devices. So even you want to get like an iPhone 14, 1 year old, you can still find it. So I would consider the refurbished tech if you want to be more sustainable. And of course, all your very old devices, you should give it to the authorized collection center.
Thank you. To Gwen, on top of the E6 products of classified as e-waste currently, is there any plan to expand the number of items beyond that?
Currently, we focus on 6 items first, and then after that we will put beyond. And then the question is, understand that DOE is going to implement extended producer responsibility (EPR) by just asking it is build their product with more recycling in mind. Okay, this one for the feedback from the public. We open the you just can go to the e-waste website e-waste.doe.gov.my. Dalam tu boleh maklum balas lah berkenaan dengan implementation for the extended producer responsibility. So jadi dialu-alukan lah menerima untuk maklum balas lah untuk this implementation lah untuk APR. Yeah.
Last year to the task force on this upcoming transforming and so on, and I'm aware of some of the changes that are planned. So I'm very happy that Malaysia is taking the steps now. I think 2025 there will be a significant change in the regulation. So I did hear some talk. I'm not sure if it will make it to the final legislation or not, but I did hear some talk that in addition to this environmental tax paid when the product is come to market, there will also be perhaps a take-back quota. So if you bring Samsung bring a million TV in the market, maybe they have a certain quota, 10%, 20%, where they have to collect back the obsolete TVs from the market. In which case, it is exactly what you are asking about. So they will participate more actively in the recycling industry. It means that either they will have to build a company like ERTH to collect directly the Samsung TV from their old consumer, or they will call us and then they will say, hey, can you please, give us the data about how many Samsung TV already collecting, and then the balance of the quota. Then we have to make a campaign to pull back the TV from the consumers and to fulfill our regulatory compliance. So I think that over the next couple of years, there will be a very significant change in the e-waste industry, and I can see that there is even crackdown from the Jabatan Alam Sekitar these days on the illegal processing. So that is also very important, because if the illegal processing thrives, that is basically weakening the good guys because they cannot process enough. So I think all of this is now happening at the same time, and we are looking at a very good future for this industry in Malaysia, inshallah. Excuse me. Okay. Wow, we are having good questions coming now. We have certified competent person for scheduled management. Waste management, we normally declare SW10 from our factories in individual e-waste, different location, and dealing with licensed transporter, collector under DOE. However, whatever e-waste item that park and register under the HQ asset will be transferred back to HQ and let them arrange. Are those transferred e-waste still considered as industry e-waste? So, okay, from my perspective, I obviously don't know, maybe the DOE say something else, but what I noticed from our customers is that if the item are from the 6 items under the household mechanism, they will just simply dispose with us, because it is still a legal way to do, and as long as they don't give us any industrial meaning outside of the 6 categories, then it's okay. So they would find it convenient under the 6 items to give to the authorized collector more than to give to the SW110 license holder and license transporter, because most of the time, the problem is they want to dispose directly to the license recovery facility, but when they call the recovery facility never come, because they just keep saying, oh, you have less than 300 kg, or you have less than 100 items, etc. Or I'm going to charge you 300 ringgit for transport, or collect back from all your branches back to HQ, then only I'm going to come. This is usually what the licensed SW110 recovery facility will say. So we are solving that problem. We don't need you to bring it back to HQ. You just give us all the address for all your branch, and then we will send the driver directly to the branch and collect. But of course, this is only limited to the 6 items. Anything outside of that, we will be unable to collect it. Okay, the DOE maybe can comment on that. I don't know if this is the right way.
True, we have facing the same question from the premise lah. Sebab kadang-kadang tu dia orang susah nak dapat kontraktor untuk dapatkan tu. So kita akan buat sometimes we do some collection program with the industry. So sometimes we call contractor, or we call the collection center.
Great. Yeah, we have been invited a few times to the DOE events as well. So sometimes we are also coming and collecting there.
Yeah.
In the context of the rapidly evolving tech industry, how do you foresee the future landscape of electronic waste changing, and what implication might this have for waste management strategy? To be honest, I think that investors would not have put millions into our company if they didn't believe that we are heading towards the golden age of e-waste industry. And I also believe that, because okay, let's actually rewind a bit to 2018. 2018, the landscape was very different. In 2018, there was already, forgive me to say, but like not so successful attempt by the industry player to solve the e-waste problem in Malaysia. So I think in 2014, something, or 2013, something around that, something called the Alam Alliance was launched. It included all the big retailers in Malaysia, as well as the S3110 license holders, etc. They were supposed to provide a solution for the logistic problem and so on. That, also, we had the MCMC do the mobile e-waste, put the boxes everywhere, and so on. Unfortunately, both of these attempts have not succeeded. So that, in my opinion, the reason is because the logistic problem was not solved. Nobody at that time had the solution for the logistic. No one had thousands of drivers available to collect small quantities. No one had 1,000 post offices to send the material for recycling through. So because of the lack of this logistic infrastructure, these previous attempts were not successful in really solving the problem. So now that we have this kind of infrastructure, then we also have the support of large telco like Maxis, Telecom Malaysia, etc. So now this is like better than ever, because now all the industry players are banding together, as well as the legislation is changing, as well as the consumer awareness is changing. So now it's a perfect storm. So I think that we are gonna rush from 30% recycling rate to, inshallah, to 50%, much shorter than 20 years, maybe 10 years, inshallah.
Okay, thank you. There's a question for Earth. If I donate e-waste at Earth, what can I get in return?
You will get cash. I think cash is some other company give you like points or voucher, bubble tea and that kind of stuff. We don't believe in that. We believe that e-waste is a valuable resource, and we demonstrate the value that you bring to us. And thank you for doing that by giving you cash reward. So that's our philosophy from day one, and we will just continue to do so. So you will get cash. If you want to donate, also can. Thank you for that. But if you don't want to donate, then you will get the cash.
Thank you, Mr. Wu. And there's another question as well. Is it possible for Earth to take back any laptops or phones where the screen is not working anymore?
Oh, yeah, of course. We are getting a lot of totally destroyed laptops. So we are not putting any condition on it has to be working, it has to be non-broken. Even the laptop which is breaking apart is still acceptable by us. So we have here from Kenny Lowe one comment. I'm afraid with the government tax, manufacturers are not going to put more effort in their product recycling. Actually, one of the things that I heard about the upcoming legislation is that they are working with Sirim to find out the composition of toxic material inside each device. So if you use more toxic, you have to pay more. So that will be the incentive for the manufacturer to reduce the toxic material. Also, we have some, like Apple, for example, start to have their own internal quota that 20% of the devices have to come from recycled material and so on. So you have some self-imposed quota and you have some government-imposed quota. And I think that both of these together will push this circular economy forward. We have a question here, another one. Understand that all scheduled waste we cannot send to the head office and dispose. The waste must be disposed at the place where it is generated. Does this apply to e-waste also? Then maybe the POE can answer this.
If e-waste tu degenerate macam from the production, it must be disposed at the place where it's generated lah. if there's 6 item tu, you can call collection center or the contractor lah.
So basically, I guess what I understood from that is that, let's say you are manufacturing something and then you have like some residual waste coming out of your manufacturing process. That is strictly industrial e-waste, and that is strictly need to dispose at the location. But if you have like a like a laptop, desktop, monitor, these 6 items, you can actually bring it back to head office and dispose from there. But it's not necessary because we can also collect it from your location direct. Wow, it's the first time I see the number of participants increasing. Usually it's decreasing.
I want to answer, e-waste is an exception. E-waste not exception. Kalau e-waste tu is part of the process, that means you generate e-waste from the process, you have to dispose at the place where it generate lah. Maksudnya kena hantar pada contractor yang place lah. Tapi kalau misalnya e-waste tu is from your macam daripada office you, macam daripada laptop yang you guna ataupun kipas ke apa, yang tu daripada office ke apa tu, yang tu bolehlah dibuat pengumpulan lah, dihantar pada collection center ataupun contractor lah. Tapi kalau misalnya e-waste tu yang memang you hasil from production, macam memang you memang guna untuk production tu, yang tu memang kena dispose as industrial lah.
Okay. We have a question about fees incurred for transportation or collection. Okay, let me tell you that 99% of the orders that we fulfill, we don't charge a cent. We actually don't like to charge anyone, but sometimes there is a reasonable reason to charge. So just to give you an example, we once got a request for 1 printer from a bank. And because this bank is a regular customer, so even it's not qualified for free pick, because our free pickup start from 3 devices. So we decide not to charge them at all. And we dispatch the order to the driver. The driver who drives a Myvi went to the bank because 1 printer can fit in a Myvi, no problem. He went to the bank and then they take him up to near the server room, and he see that it is a 1990s IBM printer, which is like bigger than his car. So of course that one we cannot perform free of charge because we needed to rent a special vehicle. We needed 6 people to transport it, and we also need a crane to lift it on the lorry. So if we incur this kind of charges, then of course we have to pass this cost on to the waste generator. But let's say 99% of the time, we are not charging a cent for our manpower, logistic, transportation, and so on. I'm interested in this seminar because we're starting. Thank you very much. I really appreciate everyone being here, and I'm happy that we still managed to keep the participant above 200 throughout. So that's really remarkable. Actually, it's a pity that I missed the earlier presentation. It would have been interesting for me as well. So I guess we are not having any more questions, or is there?
Reading template, for example, yes, example, it is not visible lah.
Is there any more question to ask for both our speakers and for Encik Tariq and Shaida?
Pardon? Which question?
No, she was asking if there is any more question, but I think everyone is just saying thanks and so on. Thank you very much, everyone. I have to say that this is one of the best session in terms of the Q&A. The questions were very well informed and very comprehensive as well. I mean, we talked about everything: EPR, consumer, industrial, regulation, incentives. I think we covered like pretty much the whole topic. So thank you very much. And yeah, this was a really good way to spend the Friday morning.
Thank you also for Mr. Tariq for sharing your.
Thank you to the UAE.
Thank you.
And thanks
There's
to
another
Maxis for inviting.
There's another question from Ashti. Is it possible for if they can get the slide presentation?
Sure, can.
Sure, can.
I will send it on the WhatsApp group for this session, and then you can maybe share it with the rest.
Me also, I can share the slide.
All right, thank you. Dan itu ada soalan lagi kan?
Maybe for the last question, how about you waste generate from office appliance kena declare is ke? Memang kena declare jugalah. Because mostly industry they have already Swiss account, so better declare in the Swiss system.
I think usually the challenge that we face is that they are not understanding the difference between authorized collector and recovery facility. So they will call us to collect, then we will go and put the stuff in our vehicle. Then they're going to say, wait, please come look at my screen. In the eSwiss system, I cannot find ERTH under the list. Of course, they cannot find because we are not a recovery facility. So that is sometimes the confusion which occurs.
Yeah, correct. Because you are a collection center.
Yes, exactly.
Not licensed contractor.
But they try to call the other ones, but they never come. We are the only one who come, and then they want to declare. So maybe that will be resolved when the legislation and the guidelines is improving in a year or two.
Yeah, inshallah.
Thank you very much for both of the speakers, Mr. Muhammad Tariq and Puan Syahidah. Dengan itu, sekali lagi, Majlis merakamkan jutaan terima kasih kepada Puan Syahidah dan Encik Muhammad Tariq Al-Fatahri atas perkongsian ilmu yang sangat bermanfaat sebentar tadi. Para hadirin yang dihormati, diminta semua untuk membuka kamera bagi sesi bergambar untuk program kita pada hari ini. Diminta semua untuk memberikan kerjasama. Terima kasih diucapkan kepada hadirin atas kerjasama yang diberikan. Para hadirin yang dikasihi, sebelum program kita melabuhkan tirai, diminta kepada semua untuk mengisi Google Form yang disediakan sebagai maklum balas program ini. Kerjasama semua pihak amatlah dihargai. Maka berakhirlah sesi webinar A Dialogue on E-Waste pada hari ini. Terima kasih kepada para tetamu jemputan serta hadirin dan hadirat sekalian atas kesudian untuk bersama-sama menjayakan program pada hari ini. Semoga dengan ilmu yang dikongsikan sebentar tadi, ia dapat membantu setiap individu untuk meningkatkan perasaan cinta terhadap alam sekitar. Bunga seroja di atas cemara, jatuh sekuntum di atas para. Andai kata tersilap bicara, kemaafan jua yang kami pinta. Di atas dahan burung tempua, melihat rusa tepi perigi. Salam perpisahan untuk semua, di lain masa bersua lagi. Sekiranya terdapat sebarang kelemahan dan kekurangan dalam pengandalian program pada hari ini, saya bagi pihak ahli jawatan kuasa dengan rendah hati memohon ribuan ampun dan maaf. Sesungguhnya yang baik itu datang dari Yang Maha Esa dan yang buruk itu datangnya dari kami. Sekian, terima kasih dan jumpa lagi.
Um,